Alright YouTube, so welcome back to another edition of Literally Doesn't Make Sense, the series of videos where we look way too much into Final Fantasy VII. These videos are usually polarizing, but I think they're good topics and it's entertaining to poke fun at Final Fantasy VII because it's not a perfect game. I think the last few topics have been pretty justified. I think it doesn't make sense that we fight Emerald Weapon at the bottom of the ocean for like 20 minutes. It doesn't make sense that we can hold our breath that long. And then of course the last video, Aerith's death scene, there's a lot of flaws with that scene in general, but just her dying to one stab wound through the back, given all the abuse that we go through throughout the entire game, why one sword stab would kill her. But today we're here to talk about Sephiroth yet again, but a different version of Sephiroth, the in-game boss, Safer Sephiroth. In Final Fantasy VII, Safer Sephiroth has an ultimate attack called Supernova that pulls a comet outside of the Milky Way galaxy. It comes through our solar system, destroying Pluto, destroying Jupiter, crashing into the sun. The sun starts expanding, going supernova, destroys Mercury, destroys Venus, and then engulfs Earth, or I guess Gaia in this sense. So for starters, a kind of small one, obviously, is the fact that this is apparently our solar system, which doesn't make sense because obviously the planet in Final Fantasy VII resembles Earth, but it's not Earth. It's called Gaia. It's a completely different planet. Yet it's in the same solar system as Jupiter, Pluto, Venus, Mars, all that stuff. The attack itself just doesn't make sense. Don't get me wrong, Supernova is probably the most badass attack in Final Fantasy history, and I'm highly anticipating if they're going to show this in the remake at some point, but that's going to be the last game, obviously. Sephiroth's entire goal in Final Fantasy VII is to get the Black Materia, summon Meteor, Meteor strikes Gaia, the live stream comes out to try to heal the planet, he gets to absorb all of that power, becomes strong, but in the process, Meteor is going to destroy Gaia, and he's going to travel to other planets and do what Jenova did in the past. So ultimately his plan is to destroy Gaia with Meteor. Well, this succeeds in that. The sun going supernova is going to completely obliterate our entire solar system. Since this is apparently our solar system, we'll use that as an example. The Earth is in like the perfect spot. We could be slightly closer to the sun in terms of space distance, about 4 times the distance of the moon to the Earth. We could be that much closer to the sun, but we get any closer than that, and it's uninhabitable. You couldn't live on the Earth anymore. We're talking about the sun going supernova, expanding, engulfing Gaia. Everything would be destroyed. There'd be nobody left alive. Right here, people are dying before it even reaches us. Which means that if Sephiroth's goal is to just destroy Gaia, he succeeds as soon as he does supernova. Not to mention the attack itself just contradicts the entire plot of the story, right? He's trying to summon Meteor to destroy Gaia, but he apparently has the power and the capability to grab any object in space and just hurl it towards whatever he wants to, so why not just grab a comet either in the Milky Way galaxy, outside of the Milky Way galaxy, and just throw it at Gaia? Why throw it at the sun anyway? And before anybody says that he has to be Safer Sephiroth to do this, or he has to have the Black Materia to do this, it's actually not true because we learned through Crisis Core that Supernova is apparently Sephiroth's limit break, and of course Crisis Core takes place prior to the original Final Fantasy VII. So that would mean it's before there's ever even a Safer Sephiroth, before there's ever even a Black Materia. Apparently Sephiroth has the ability to do Supernova. So that also contradicts the entire plot of the original game where Sephiroth's trying to hunt down the Black Materia. Like, why? You have the ability to grab a comet and throw it at whatever you want to. Why do you need the Black Materia? I'm obviously aware that Crisis Core came out after FF7, so they're going to add events to the story that didn't exist in the original game. So the original game is not really at fault in this particular situation, and people have their opinions on Crisis Core, whether they love it or hate it, but regardless of your thoughts on it, Crisis Core is canon to the FF7 universe, and the people who created FF7 and Crisis Core are the ones who decided to make Supernova canon before the original game. And on just the absolute most basic level, the comet colliding with Pluto or Jupiter would destroy it. It wouldn't just pass through those planets, exploding them, and continue going on forward. That's not how that works. Also, when it comes to the attack Supernova, it's an attack that can never kill you because it does gravity-based damage. It does like 15/16 of your health, so you'll always survive it. But if our characters have the capability of surviving a star going supernova, a star exploding, the heat of the sun, they can survive that. It logically doesn't make any sense that they would ever die in any battle throughout the entire game. I mean, the sun is hot as hell. It's 5,700 kelvins, which equates to about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. If they can survive that heat and that damage, how does any attack ever really affect them? And again, this attack is completely obliterating the solar system, destroying every aspect of Gaia, so even if they do end up defeating Sephiroth in this fight, there's no Gaia to go back to. There's nothing left. They're just going to be floating around in space, I guess. I've seen some people discuss, even in the comment section of my videos, that what happens in a battle is different from what happens outside of a battle in FF7, which is why Aerith dies to a sword through the back, but in battle she can take all kinds of different damage and hits and all that stuff. But I don't accept that idea or theory. What happens in a battle should be legitimate, right? Like, if you're getting stabbed in a battle, that shouldn't be different from being stabbed outside of a battle, because otherwise battles are completely meaningless. Like, what is a summon? Is the summon actually happening? Are you actually summoning Bahamut, or is it an illusion? Same thing with Sephiroth doing Supernova. Either there's actually a comet striking the sun's going Supernova, and it's obliterating the solar system, or it's, a mirage that he's showing you? Like, what is it? It's either it's actually happening, or it's not happening. We've discussed several different things in this video, but the main point, the main focus of this video is that Sephiroth's goal is to destroy Gaia, and he does that the instant he uses Supernova. So for all of the reasons I've given you in this video, Sephiroth's final attack, Supernova, literally doesn't make any sense. These kinds of videos aren't really planned, they just kind of come to me every now and then, which is why there's only been a couple of them, except for the Aerith one. People have been critiquing that scene for a very long time. By the way, I pass off to you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the attack Supernova? I absolutely am excited to see it in the remake eventually, but for me it's got to be something that's like a fight ender, a game ender. Like if Sephiroth does Supernova, the fight needs to be over, whether that be like a countdown timer or whatever during the fight, I don't know. By the way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. And my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like a baby, or at least less like a child. Give me serenity.